What's your favorite game of all time? And of course, not including your game.
Favorite game of all time would have to be the Zelda series, like Zelda Link to the Past is up there. Secret of Mana is one of them. If I had to pick just one, I would probably say Secret of Mana, the original. That game was so ahead of its time. It's like action RPG with puzzles, and you just pop in a controller and you play, and your buddy who's with you on the couch pops in the controller, and now he picks up the AI and then he takes it out and the AI controls your character. This was on the Super Nintendo back in, oh man, I forgot what year it released, but that game was so ahead of its time. It was incredible. I'd have to pick that one. I'm playing everything, man. I mean,
Everything.
I have every game console. What am I playing like literally right now? I'm playing Deltarune right now. Just got finished with Final Fantasy Rebirth recently. Played through that. It was awesome. Let's see what else. Oh, and Expedition 33. I finished that just a little bit before starting Deltarune. So I'm playing a little bit of everything. I play a little bit of everything. Sure, so I've been making games for 30 years now, feeling a little old, not gonna lie. And I knew I wanted to make games ever since I was a kid. And when I saw them like in the 70s, which was like at a roller skating rink, there were pinball machines and a couple video games. I'm like, this is what I want to do. How do I do this? And they didn't have any schools to get into video game development or game design. So I kind of had to I just had to play them all day. And fortunately, as long as my grades were good, I was able to do that. So I started as a programmer purely to get into video games. Like I didn't care about programming. I just wanted to make games, right? And my parents were like, great, if the games thing doesn't work out, you can be a software programmer. You could work for a bank, whatever. And fortunately, I was able to get a job at Monolith, was the first game studio I got a job for back in the 90s. That was awesome. I got to work on games there. I was a game designer and a programmer ever since I started because I always had the DNA of user experience in game design. But I formally got into it on my second job as the lead designer of Dungeon Siege 2, the big 40-hour RPG. It's like Diablo, but with a party if you've ever played it. That was a lot of fun. And since then, I've just been doing full-time game design and have never looked back. I started a studio. It got acquired by Activision. If you remember the name Sierra Online, that was our studio the second time that they came around. I got into casual games in the last arc of my career before getting into Web3. Worked at Big Fish Games, and then I co-founded the Microsoft Casual Game Studio. So this was the studio that made Solitaire and Minesweeper and like games that your grandma is probably playing. I got to redesign those games and make them cool and have retention in them and sticky features and have them monetize without pissing people off. That was really fun. Like, it was also humbling, like Solitaire, the most played game in history. Like, I could be the guy that ruined that. That would be really bad. So, and I decided in 2017 that I got really excited about the Web3 intersection. And this is back in the time that everybody was saying it's just drug dealers and money laundering and don't do that or you're going to go to jail. But I was really excited. I'm like, come on, there's going to be new game monetization models, new game business models, new game experiences that you couldn't have without blockchain intersection. So I want to go explore that. And nobody in 2017 was talking about games. Like, the closest thing you had was CryptoKitties. And you're like, yeah, it's not really a game. Finally, in 2021, the NFT boom happened. You had games like Axie Infinity, Play to Earn, and people were paying attention now to blockchain games, but none of them were very good. They all looked like little web games or something. I'm like, man, where's the really good game people? And nobody cared about this space. So I figured, okay, I have to start a studio and bring some like, we know how to make good games DNA here. But since I've been in blockchain since 2017, like, I understood the Web3 audience, the culture, the degen culture, the DeFi. Because I've been in crypto for so long and felt uniquely positioned to blend gaming with blockchain in ways that just blockchain people or just game people were having difficulty doing. So that's a really long-winded answer to like, how I got in gaming and how I got to Web3. For games in general, the big challenge is finding product market fit and marketing. Like, you can make an excellent game and nobody's going to know about it because you can't get the word out. Like, especially mobile games are really hard now because of the way mobile advertising works. It's just really hard to get out there without a great user acquisition strategy. And in Web3, the big challenge is also product market fit. Like, most of the Web3 people came to Web3 to get generational wealth and see number go up, and if you weren't able to do that, like, who cares, right? And so all the early products that people know about were all about enriching folks, right? If you look at the personas that are in Web3 gaming, there's a lot of them that are financial minded, right? Web3 expects a certain amount of that. And there aren't a lot of people who are like, I only care about the games, like, because there aren't any really great Web3 games yet. There's a few decent ones, right? And some that are coming up. But I mean, we've been saying this since 2021. Oh, the good games are coming. Here we are 4 years later and they're still coming, guys. But I think that you are actually seeing some good games now. Like, you're seeing Off the Grid, you're seeing Wildcard. There are a few games that are shaping up to go after Web 2, the market. And that's what our vision on Project O at Coin has always been. Like, we can't aim to compete with just Web 3 games. Not only is it not really a competition because the games aren't that great, but like, from the Web 2 perspective, that's where all the users are. And they're going to take one look at a Web 3 game that's all about blockchain. If you put that on the front of the box and make it all about tokens, they're going to just nope right out and say, look, we've been playing games for decades without any expectation of value or getting rich. And so just make good games. And I feel like we've been saying this, like, just the game has to be good, but it's got to be more than that. Like, the game can't just be good. And by the way, it has a token and NFTs. It has to be a great Web 2, Web 3 experience as well. And nobody has cracked that yet. And we're going after Web 2. Like, our game needs to compete with the best in Web 2, or we need to continue building it until it does. That's how we're looking at it. I mean, I came to this space to really explore what you can do with digital property ownership. That's really the only thing Web3 brings to a game. The thing that you must use it for, that you can't have in the same way in Web 2. And that sounds like just that one little thing, just digital property ownership. But it's huge because it's not just your items that you own and experiences that you can have with those, but it's parts of the game itself. It's IP royalty sharing that's trustless, and there are just so many things that you can do. I'm excited about the experiences. I'm not excited about, like, look at the numbers go up, although that comes with excellent experiences in some cases as well. But it's not just so you can sell it, right? It's also like, because I own this piece of property in your game, what's my experience and why is that different than just a database or, having a sword in World of Warcraft or, a card in Magic Arena? How is your game different than that? And it is. There are some things you can do that folks aren't talking about because everybody's like, well, you can sell it. So yes, you can sell it. Of course, that's one thing you can do with ownership, but the Web 2, Web 3 experience is what excites me the most. Like, I feel like I've made games that did well, they were successful, they made a lot of money, or they had a lot of users. That was really exciting. So now I'm looking to do something different, and that is, let's see if we can make, ownership meaningful and get people, not to say like, oh my God, I gotta have blockchain, but oh my God, I need that experience. And how did you do that? Well, we put it on the chain. What is that? What does that mean? Like that. That's how I think we're gonna do it. And I'm really excited to swing at that fence. I was working on a game. It was a side-scrolling game where you played a cat pirate and you were fighting these dog soldiers, right? Of course, cats versus dogs. And so you're running across the screen and you're taking out your sword, and when you kill them, they would arc up off the screen and splash in the water, and it would go doo-dee, kind of a little sound. And there was this bug in the game where when you killed them and they arced up, the programmers forgot to make them not hittable again. So you could still hit them while they were flying. And so you could walk forward, hit them again, walk forward, hit him again, and you kind of bounce them across the screen, like boing, 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 boing. And so when the programmer who coded that saw that, he goes, "Oh man, I'm really sorry that I forgot to turn off the solid flag or whatever." And I was like, "Dude, no." I'm like, "It is amazing. You can bounce the guys across screen." And he's like, "No, that is a bug, and it wasn't meant to be there." And I'm like, "Do you not see how? Just watch. I can hit him like 35 times." And he's like, "Why would anybody want to do that?" And I'm like, "You don't understand. Can we put a counter in of how many times you bounce the guy?" And he's like, I don't know, man. And I argued with him for like 2 days. And he finally said, "All right, I'll leave it in, and you could put in a bounce counter." So we had a bounce counter, and you could bounce these guys across the screen. It did absolutely nothing for the game, but players loved it. And it was like, it's my favorite bug became feature story that of any game I've worked on. It was so good. I think it's going to be a combination of AI and augmented reality. I've always been a big fan of augmented reality. Like, AI is the phone it in answer. I figure like everybody's going to say that, and it will. But did you ever see the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds?
Yes, yeah.
Right? There are people, he's an NPC in that movie, but there are other people, and they put on these glasses, and then in the real world, it overlays it with like power-ups and health packs and gold and things. And I think that is totally going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take because it's a really hard problem. And I have some friends that are working on hardware to kind of do that. And they're like, you have no idea how far we are from that. But maybe with AI we can get it. But I mean, I remember when I got into Web3 and I'm like, how long is it going to be before I can go over to your house and then you go, "Here, put these glasses on." And I'm like, "Really?" And I put on glasses, and then I see all these cool things in your house and animated, wallpapers and a dragon lamp and a little game over here. And then I take them off and it's gone. And I'm like, this is insane, right? And now I have to get those things, and it's like the digital world mixed with the real world. Like right now you put on glasses and then there's a little thing on the table and it's all shaky. It just looks so bad. But there's a future world where that looks incredibly seamless. I know we get there eventually. And I know that the hardware, and it'll just be like, there'll be glasses like these. They'll just be, put these on. You're like, holy crap. And then it will be contacts, and it'll be like a Black Mirror episode because everybody's social score will be above their heads. And you're like, I'm not talking to that guy. He's a 3.5. Forget it.
Yeah. Or like I'm blocking this guy. I can't see him anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. I know that that's coming, and I hope I get to see it in my lifetime.